Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Ray Drew on the line, and he's the Vice President and Senior Business Development Officer over at Ready Capital. Ray, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Ready Capital and how you're helping your clients. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. How did you get started in your career and in business?
Sure. Well, Adam, I got lucky. I graduated college in 2011, kind of at the height of the recession. And I was lucky enough to get a position with a small business lending company right out of college. And that's sort of how I got into the industry. And that's what I do today, 9 years later. So this small business lending thing is actually my only skill in life at this point. Luckily, I like it very much.
Oh man, what a great skill to have! I love your story because you're a true specialist. I mean, you came out of college, you fell in love with what you were doing, and you wouldn't have stuck around otherwise. So it's awesome, and I know your clients and also your company both benefit from your expertise there. That being said, we're going to get into Ready Capital, but you know, there's some younger entrepreneurs and also some younger listeners that are maybe just graduating college and they're thinking about going that route of finance. We don't talk about business lending often as a potential career, as a career choice. You know, mortgage lending, that always gets that's like real estate mortgage lending, that always gets the most of the show, if you will. Let's talk a little bit about it as a career. What kind of advice would you give? Because you obviously stuck with it and love what you're doing. What kind of advice would you give to that new crop of, let's say, college grads that are thinking about finance and why they should maybe take a second look at business lending?
Yeah, it's an excellent question because, you know, I didn't go into school thinking I'm going to be a small business lender when I grow up. It's not really a job I knew about. So I got very lucky and I highly recommend it. And if, you know, the best way to get your foot in the door is really through an internship. That's what I did. I did an internship in college and that got my foot into the door of a whole world that I would have never known otherwise existed. So I certainly recommend it. I feel so lucky to have the position and, you know, in terms of flexibility, you know, compensation and just having a challenge every day when you get to work. I give this a very high rating as a career. So I try to give back as much as possible in terms of just educating younger people and trying to get new blood into the industry as a way to give back for the incredible opportunity that I've had the pleasure of receiving.
That's awesome. Well, Ray, I appreciate that, and I want to switch it up a bit. Let's get a little bit further into what you're doing over at Ready Capital. So first, tell me a little bit more about the business, please.
Well, Ready Capital is a finance company. We specialize in small business lending, around $350,000 to around $5 million, specifically for small business owners, entrepreneurs who want to start, grow, expand their business, buy commercial real estate for their business. And we do it specifically through the Small Business Administration, the SBA's 7A loan program. And that's basically the Small Business Administration's flagship program. It's about $25 billion a year gets funded through this program. And most folks, know about these loans through their bank, but we're actually one of the only non-bank institutions approved by the Small Business Administration to make these loans. So we're able to do it as a non-bank lender in a more creative way and a lot quicker.
What are some of the, and I know you've worked with many businesses in your career, and, what are some of the challenges out there do you find that business owners have in securing the right lender? And also, what are some of the things they should be looking at when working with a lender?
The small business program, the 7A program, although we can do the entire loan in-house, there's certain regulations that the SBA requires the lender to follow. And, it is it's a federal government program. it's gotten a lot better lately, but it's still not the easiest to navigate through. So working with an expert is the number one thing that you can do to ensure, you're setting yourself up for success when applying for an SBA loan to, buy a building or purchase a business or buy out your partner. So that's my biggest piece of advice, because there's about, I think last time I checked, maybe 1,900, institutions who've made an SBA loan in the past year. Some of them only have made one or two or three. And, that's fine. But folks like us, we make, hundreds per year. And, it allows us to understand the nuances of the program and navigate the tricky waters of the program, which, is crucial to being able to provide these in an efficient manner to small business owners.
So I know there's some people listening right now that are, they're business owners, they're entrepreneurs, and they may be in a position to where they've had some success in their business, and they're thinking about maybe expanding or, like you mentioned, purchasing some real estate. What are some of the reasons why they should really think about going that SBA route?
Yeah, it's a great question. There's two main reasons that I think of off the top of my head. One is preserving their capital. Right now, I talk to business owners every day, and I'm seeing a lot of growth on their top line, their revenue, and there's a lot of opportunities for growth. However, the capital that they need to invest into seeing that growth 6 or 12 or 18 months down the road is very precious, and so they have to put it in the right place. They have to pick where they're going to put that capital. And what the SBA loan does is allows them to preserve that capital by putting less money down into their real estate or into their business acquisitions so that they can reinvest more money into growing the business. So that's one. Two would be typically longer terms. So, commercial real estate terms go out to 25 years. Everything else pretty much goes out to 10 years. So you're getting the longest possible repayment schedules, which obviously allows the business owner to improve and, have less of an impact on their monthly cash flow.
That's awesome. So, Ray, if somebody's listening to this and they want to reach out to Ready Capital and to learn more, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can shoot me an email. It's ray.drew@readycapital.com.
Fantastic. Hey, Ray, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at Ready Capital. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store, share this with your friends and family. Do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Ray, thanks again for coming on the show.